Are we going?
Yep.
Hello, happy gardeners. Welcome back to Stinky Nursery. We got Marla on camera. Say hello, Marla.
Hi.
And she's tired, and I'm tired. We need to go home. It's been a long day. But it hasn't been raining. I made a little request in the last video if anyone could do something about the weather, and they clearly have, which is brilliant. Thank you very much, whoever you were. We've had a lovely day down here. It's the start of March, and the gardening calendar gets very busy at this time of year. We're going to be planting some seeds. Now, if you want to plant seeds in an unheated greenhouse, there's still the chance we could get a bit of frost. So you've got to make sure that the seeds are from a plant that is a hardy plant, a plant that can withstand frost. If you plant things like tomatoes or aubergines, at this time of year, they will need some protection from the frost. You'll need to have a heater in your greenhouse or put them on a windowsill inside. But what we're planting today are some aquilegia. Now, aquilegia, a lot of them were wiped out in 2015 by a fungus, this new fungus that had appeared out of the sky, they think, they're not sure. A sample of the fungus went off to Kew Gardens or the Royal Horticultural Society or whoever. They DNA'd it and found it was new. It was getting into the leaves, and then slugs would eat the leaves. Aquilegia were known to be bulletproof because nothing would eat them, etc. And all of a sudden something came along to kill them. So I haven't grown them here for 5 years. I've got some seed. I'm going to give them a go. I'm going to give them a go, see how we get on. I'm not going to plant too many, but we're going to do a few now. And the method we're going to be using now, it applies to all small seed that you're planting at this time of year. So what we need is a seed mix. Now, a seed mix is a third topsoil, a third recycled grow bag, and a third gritty sand like this. You'll also need some sand to pop over the top of it, and a pot. I'm using one of these. This is from the supermarket. Recycle everything. It needs some drainage. So we're going to put it on the soil like that. We're going to put it on the glasses, and we're going to take a tent peg. You don't have to use a tent peg. You could use a screwdriver, but I'm going to use that to stab the bottom of the pot to give us some nice drainage holes. There we go. Got some drainage holes there. We're now going to fill the pot up like this. Marla, do you want to spin it? Show the people. Like this, fill it sort of like that. Give it a bit of a jiggle and then tap it to get all the air out like that. And then we are going to be putting our seed in. Now, aquilegia seed, Marla, if you'd like to show the people the aquilegia seed, I'll just sprinkle a few into my hand. They're lovely little black shiny things. Look at them. Lovely. I really do like aquilegia seeds. There we go. So we're going to use a few of those seeds, and I'm going to pop them into my hand like that. And because they're small seeds, I'm going to create a little groove like this, and I'm going to tap my hand. Actually, I do it the other way around normally, don't I? Yeah, put it in my left hand. So I'm going to, can you see that, Marla? Yeah. And you tap your hand, and as you can see, the seeds will go down that little groove there, and then we want to plant them quite, you don't want to chuck the whole lot in because these will all turn into little plants, and it makes it really hard to split them up if you've got a huge clump of them together. So there we go. Got a few of those going in like that. There we are. Lovely. The rest can go back in the packet. Now we're going to cover that with the sand, and as always with seed, you want to cover it by about 2.5 times the width of the seed in depth of sand above it. So with these very fine seeds, we're going to give it a very fine sprinkling. It's to keep the seed moist, and once it's germinated and you've started to get a bit of growth on it, you don't want it to dry out, and so this will help us with that. So I've got my sand here like that. I'm just going to give it a fine coating over the top, maybe a little bit more. And then, of course, as with all things that you plant up and you can't tell what it is, you label it. Label it and date it. You might think, oh, I'll remember what that's going to be. But believe me, if you're anything like me, you will forget, and you'll have to wait until the thing starts to germinate. And I've also put a date on the label, so we'll know if it's taking a bit too long to germinate. And I've written on it with a pencil. Pencil will not wash off. Permanent markers quite possibly will. I'm going to pop that in there, and then I'm going to soak it. You could water it prior to sowing the seed. If I was to water it now, all the seeds would be moved about. So I'm going to give it a soaking now. This is another way of doing it, and all you do is, Marla, can you show the people? Spin down here. I've got a tub of water. I'm just going to pop it in there like that, and there we go. The water will be sucked up through the bottom of the holes in the pot, so we'll leave that in there for about half an hour, and then we're going to take it out, and I'm going to put it on the side of an unheated greenhouse, not in full sun, in a bit of a shady area, and we will wait for our seeds to germinate, and hopefully we might have some lovely aquilegia. Now, aquilegia are a plant that will not flower in the first year. They were the first plant that I grew that you had to do this, where you plant it in the first year, it grows up, it dies back, it comes back the next year, and then you get a flower. Initially I thought, oh, I can't be bothered, you know, impatient and all that sort of stuff. But since I've been growing plants like that, I found out they're even more rewarding. I know you have to wait longer, but that's the point of it. That is the point of it. I can't really explain it, but that is the point. Waiting a bit longer, it makes it all the more special. Anyway, this has been Robbie Phoenix down at Stinky Nursery with Marla on camera, showing you how to plant out your aquilegia seeds. Thanks for watching.